Making the headlines tonight, Deputy Prime Minister Sokka says police in training must have professionalism, competence, and good morals to become police officers that people are not afraid of and will trust to cooperate with. Secretary of State M. Jamakara calls on people to increase their awareness of the disability sector, especially to prevent violence against women and girls with disabilities. Hundreds of people amassed at Sri Lanka's Department of Immigration and Emigration, hoping it will be their turn to collect a new passport to leave the South Asian nation. 17 migrants were dramatically rescued in the Mediterranean Sea on Wednesday by a Spanish NGO after they jumped from a migrant boat to avoid being captured by the Libyan Coast Guard. This is the Daily Roundup on EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. My name is Dekanin. The Minister of Interior, Deputy Prime Minister Sokka, has said that the police in training must have professionalism, competence, and good morals to become police officers that people are not afraid of and will trust to cooperate with. He made the statement at the closing ceremony of the 15th Vocational Police Training Course of the first level at the National Police School, Zone 6, Kampong Chhnang Province. EAC News reporter Dashana Gochin has the details.
Deputy Prime Minister Sokka said that no matter how strong the police are, they will not be able to maintain good security and order without the support and participation of the people, which is a crucial principle and theory they must remember. He also outlined the views of the National Police and referred to the integration of the police framework through competitions. The introduction section, he said, refers to teaching both theory and practice. Command refers to the appointment of work according to each individual's skills after being taught. Promotions refers to incentives such as promotions, roles, rewards, and awards. Incitement refers to measures taken against officials who are at fault, such as reprimanding and disciplining. Disclosure refers to the removal of the framework from the police if a serious mistake has been committed, such as a crime. And ending refers to preparation for retirement or loss of professional fitness. Deputy Prime Minister Sokka also praised the Police Academy of Cambodia for its efforts to manage human resource training for the national police in order to achieve a series of good results. He also thanked and expressed his appreciation for all the professors and teachers of the national police who have worked hard to strengthen police training while showing their knowledge and ability in the profession. Finally, the Deputy Prime Minister instructed the Police Academy of Cambodia to continue studying and researching in order to initiate more innovative ideas to lead, manage, and implement national police reform as planned. This includes especially monitoring and researching into new forms of crime that have occurred in the country and around the world, in order to integrate these learnings into lessons for police trainees and students in both theory and practice, as well as to continue cooperation to train new police officers, officers who have not yet joined the course, and officers who have been transferred to the National Police. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
In May, Cambodia has officially inaugurated the first Ford assembly plant in the Kingdom of Cambodia, located in Posat Province. The inauguration was held on the morning of Thursday, 16th of June, under the chairmanship of the Deputy Commander of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces and the Commander of the Army, Lieutenant General Hun Manait. EAC News reporter Dashana Gochin has more.
On the occasion of the official inauguration, Lieutenant General Hun Manait said that the establishment of a Ford car assembly plant in Pursat is a matter of pride for the locals as well as people across the whole country. He welcomes the presence of this modern heavy industry, which significantly contributes to increasing employment opportunities, salary growth, human resource development through skills training and job standards at all levels, as well as technology transfer through work in the production chain, not only to stimulate economic growth in numbers, but also as a basis for competition to take advantage of the free market economy in the process of globalization and development for the long term. He said, "The factory is a model of a successful opportunity that will pioneer and encourage further large-scale investments in Cambodia, especially in the automotive sector in the future." In addition, Lieutenant General Hun Manait called on all investors to choose Cambodia as a destination for investment based on favorable conditions of peace, political stability, and macroeconomics. He said the royal government will continue to welcome and cooperate with all investment projects, especially investment projects that will help promote Cambodia's economic growth with resilience and sustainability to achieve Cambodia's future vision of 2030 and 2050. Lieutenant General Hun Manait also gave mention to and praised the diplomatic relations and friendship between Cambodia and the United States over the past few decades, thanking the United States for its good cooperation in many important areas with Cambodia, especially in trade that provides mutual benefits for the people of both countries. He said bilateral relations through the private sector have also contributed significantly to increasing long-term trust between the two countries, in addition to sustainable development for Cambodia. RMA Cambodia CEO Norn Sang said the Ford assembly plant will contribute to the development of the automotive industry and boost the national economy by increasing domestic production chains in line with international standards in the era of technological globalization. RMA Cambodia not only provides employment opportunities to more than 500 local people, but its presence also contributes to the local economy by boosting business momentum and indirect job creation. Darshana Gauchan, EAC News.
The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth, and Secretary General of the Disability Action Council, Amjan Makara, has called on people to increase their awareness of the disability sector, especially to prevent violence against women and girls with disabilities. He made this statement during the opening of the training on negotiation skills and basic knowledge of gender and disability on Thursday, 16th of June. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
Secretary of State M. Chanmakra said that the Royal Government of Cambodia has paid a lot of attention to the rights of people with disabilities by launching a National Strategic Plan on Disability 2019 to 2023, which is strategically that focus on gender issues and stopping the use of violence against women with disabilities. He added that persons with disabilities are further protected by the disability law, which states that when a person with a disability is violated anyway, the perpetrators are punished according to the law, which defines the aggravating circumstances. Having an increased understanding of the disability sector is therefore very important in order to make Cambodia a country that does not use violence in any form, particularly against persons with disabilities, which will help the Royal Government achieve the goals of its National Strategic Plan on Disability. The Second Secretary of Australian Embassy of Cambodia, Connor Floyd, spoke to the training opening and said that the globally women of disabilities are 3 times more likely to experience violence than women without disabilities. Many countries continue to address gender with disabilities issues separately with little consideration for intersections between them. Consequently, women and girls with disabilities miss out on the support with access of quality services and programs that could offer them. He further added, many women with disabilities do not seek for services or support due to lack of confidence. Without relevant family and community support and encouragement, their voices are not heard by decision makers, and service providers may not be aware of the specific barriers they are facing. On the contrary, empowered and confident women with disabilities can share their experience and contribute identity, most appropriate solutions to their issues. For Cambodia, however, Connor Floyd said he sees that both the government and NGOs have shown commitment to finding solutions that women and girls with disabilities would benefit from. Secretary of State M. Chanmakra also acknowledged that women and girls with disabilities around the world face gender equality and while disability and perverts relevant stigma and discrimination, especially compared to women without disabilities. He said the Ministry of Social Affairs, as well as the General Secretariat of Disability Action Council, is committed to ensuring that all women and girls, especially women and girls with disabilities, have equal rights, equal opportunities and protection, and that their voices be upheld. Currently, there are more than 500,000 persons with disabilities in Cambodia, accounting to 4.9% of the country's total of 16 million population. Secretary of State M. Chanmakra previously said on Tuesday the 14th of June that his observations show that the use of violence against women or girls with disabilities has been generally reduced in Cambodia, attributing this reduction to the fact that people are more aware of the rights of the persons with disabilities and greater media participation on this issue. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Secretary of State of the Ministry of Public Works and Chairman of the Subnational Administration Personnel Committee, Thao Setana, has said that the implementation of the Decentralization Administration Reform Program has promoted the capacity development of subnational administrations to provide better services for the people. EAC News reporter Darshana Gojin has further details.
Speaking at the closing ceremony of the Decentralization and Administration Reform Program on 16th June, Secretary of State Thor Setana said that the past 3 years of implementing the Decentralization and Administration Reform Program from May 2019 to April 2022 required gradual learning and practice. However, many tasks were successfully achieved, including the implementation of support programs, national policy programs, and the preparation of various laws. Within the field of health, the program focuses on developing a vision to improve the provision of health services for future implementation. By implementing alternative functions, the program has been able to provide a budget package to support commune administrations in implementing services and solutions to meet local needs and support municipal administrations in enhancing citizen participation, along with the support of some partner non-governmental organizations at the grassroots level. In terms of public administration reform, the Decentralization and Administration Reform Program has the support of the Ministry of Public Works in compiling video production and dissemination of documents and experiences on the performance of model service units in education and healthcare, and has participated in preparing additional guidelines for expanding the scope of implementation in these areas. The Secretary of State added, support for the reorganization and revision of management system-based guidelines on job descriptions in the administration of municipalities, districts, communes is within the capacity of organizers, with the implementation focused on the chairmanship of the sub-national level. He said that the government's efforts for reform are aimed at improving service delivery mechanisms to improve the quality and efficiency of public services to meet the real needs of the local people. The Decentralization and Administrative Reform Program aims to support subnational administrations and specialized agencies in partner cities to provide responsive, coordinated, and accountable public services with a focus on improving selected services. The program is funded by the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development of Germany and implemented by the German Agency for International Cooperation. Project partners include the National Committee for Subnational Democratic Development and a number of districts in Battambang Province. The Ministry of Civil Service is also a part of the Decentralization and Administrative Reform Program, focusing on BMZ-funded components. Darshana Gauchan, EAC News.
Former leader of the Cambodian National Rescue Party, Kem Sokka, has announced that he is severing ties with Sam Rainsy and wants to hold a press conference about this matter. He made this statement during his ongoing trial at the Phnom Penh Municipal Court on Wednesday morning, 15th of June. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more details.
Kem Sokka said it was over between him and Sam Rainsy and there is no comparison to be made between the two. After Sam Rainsy made a statement asking the Candlelight Party to participate in the election and attacking Kem Sokka by saying that he has made a mistake for not going to the polls. Kem Sokka said he had a long tolerance Sam Rainsy's actions but would no longer be doing so. He said, Sam Rainsy, where he goes, what he announces, what he does, I have supported his actions. He announced on 9th November to gather forces to arrest the Prime Minister, calling on his army. I have never supported this. I have never supported it. I would like to confirm that it is forbidden for my comrades to interfere in this matter. I do not have the political right to speak in public, so it's obvious I have endured this for a long time, as I cannot speak in public. Whether the judge allows me my political rights, I will hold a press conference to talk about this matter immediately. He further added to anyone who wants to bring foreigners to destroy Cambodia should stay away from him. After 2012 Commune Council election, the Sam Rainsy Party and the Human Rights Party led by Kem Sokka emerged from the CNRP to run the 2013 parliamentary elections. However, after Kem Sokka was arrested and the CNRP was dissolved by the Supreme Court, the party alliance split and a series of new parties were formed to run the upcoming elections. Meanwhile, the original Candlelight Party, former Sam Rainsy Party, also participated in the election. Kem Sokka had previously announced he decided to sever ties with Sam Rainsy on the 28th of November 2021. In a post he made on his Facebook page asking Sam Rainsy and his party to stop using his name and photo in his conjunction with political ambitions activities. Sokka said he confesses both national and international public opinion and emphasised that he was not involved and not responsible for the activities of Sam Rainsy and his group. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Stacks of new passports lie on a table at Sri Lanka's Department of Immigration and Emigration as officials making final checks hurriedly looking over them. Hundreds of people have amassed before collection counters nearby, hoping it will be their turn to collect a new passport soon, along with the ability to leave the South Asian nation as it's weathered the worst financial crisis in 7 decades.
A senior official said he has not seen demand for passports on this scale in the 6 years he has been in the department, adding that 160 members of staff were exhausted trying to meet the demand for new passports. In the first 5 months of 2022, Sri Lanka has issued 288,645 passports compared to 91,331 in the same period last year, according to government data. Because of this demand, it takes about a month to issue a new passport, said Hyper Chandanral, who oversees the authorisation of most applications. Although there is a huge demand, our officials work even on Saturdays to ease the backlog. The department is tightening security expand, working hours and tripled the number of passports it issues by at least 3,000 people and dropping off their forms every day, Chandral added. Queues have extended outside the department where 50-year-old housewife Indriani Piyaratha said that had been in line for 3 days after clambering onto the train from the hometown of Trinacomalee in eastern Sri Lanka. Priyanatha was hoping to hand in papers to obtain her first passport so she could apply for a job as a housemaid in Kuwait. Her husband, as a farmer, was not making enough to provide for their family. In the queue, Priyanatha was joined by labourers, shop owners, farmers, public servants and housewives, some of who camped overnight or looked to escape Sri Lanka. The urgency for many people are aiming to leave the compound recently by warning from the new Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the food crisis only months away. The island nation of 22 million people is running short of food, cooking gas, fuel and medicine after economic mismanagement of the COVID-19 pandemic wipe out foreign exchange reserves. Inflation of more than 33% and worries of the prolonged political and economic uncertainty are other reasons pushing many to migrate. One must have 30,000 to 35,000 rupees, $86 to $100, to get a passport, said the local resident Mohammed Shakil. This small thing alone can explain why I can't go abroad.
17 migrants were dramatically rescued in the Mediterranean Sea on Wednesday, June 15, by the IT Marie vessel from Spanish NGO Humanitarian Maritime Rescue after they jumped from a migrant boat to avoid being captured by Libyan Coast Guard vessel.
Rescue boats rushed to save migrants from drowning, staff members throwing life vests and assisting them after embarking. Head of Rescue Mission for NGO vessel Aita Mari, Izaskun Ariaran, said, never have I seen anything like this. We have talked about it and heard about it lots of times, about how people fleeing from Libya prefer to drown rather than go back to Libya, but we have never seen it like this, and it is very tough. I think we have done a good job, but the picture is there and it has been brutal. 86 migrants who remained on the rubber dinghy were seized by the Libyan Coast Guard, the NGO said. The rescue took place in international waters, and the Aita Marie vessel is heading towards Lampedusa to seek medical assistance for a 15-year-old injured migrant, a spokesperson for the NGO told a reporter.
The 25th St. Petersburg International Economic Forum opened on Wednesday in Russia's second largest city. Under the theme of New Opportunities in a New World, this year's forum is attended by representatives of more than 90 countries and regions, according to the forum's organizer.
Russia for years has hosted world leaders and business titans in its annual economic forum in St. Petersburg. But the Russian Davos will see little of the global financial elite this year, with Moscow isolated by sanctions over the actions in Ukraine. The participants who will turn up will discuss issues regarding global and Russian economics, digitalization, and information security. While addressing the forum's plenary session on Friday, Russian President Vladimir Putin will assess the current global situation and outline the future direction of the Russian economic development, Kremlin aide Yuri Yakoslav said on Wednesday. Since 1997, the forum has become a leading global platform for businesses community to discuss critical economic issues facing Russia, emerging markets, and the world. To make up for lack of major Western attendees, Russia is giving pride of place to smaller players. One of the new makers on the first day of the forum was Mohammad Yusuf Mohammed, Vice Chairman of Kazakhstan Chambers of Commerce and Investment. Mohammed refused to talk about Russian recognition of the Taliban-ruled country, but spoke about the deals he was hoping to sign in St. Petersburg. What Afghanistan needs nowadays is wheat, flour, gas and oil, so we would like to extend this relationship and make it as strong as possible, he said on the sidelines of the forum. Trade between Russia and Iran has risen over the past months as both countries contend with tough Western sanctions. Moscow is boosting businesses' ties with Tehran in the wake of Ukraine crisis, will benefit both countries' economics. Meanwhile, Iran has been mulling the switch from settling international transactions in the US dollar to using other currencies for foreign trade in order to circumvent sanctions and have restrictions access dollars. With Russia's economic facing pressure from the Western sanctions over the crisis in Ukraine, Moscow is looking for new trading partners and is counting the trade with countries that have not imposed sanctions on Moscow.
Now let's have a look at the weather and what you can expect for tomorrow. And finally, BTS, the 7-member South Korean band that spearheaded a global K-pop craze, is taking a hiatus as a group to work on solo projects, members announced on Tuesday. BTS fans said they were left in tears and sympathized with the band, while shareholders in their management company were left fuming. In a video released by record label Big Hit Music, the group was seen having their annual Festa dinner, which also marked the group's 9th anniversary. Group leader and rapper RM was critical of the pressure K-pop artists faced, saying it did not provide performers with time to mature. Singer Jimin added that members of the band were having a tough time establishing their identity, labeling it an exhausting process. Many in South Korea reacted with shock and dismay at the news of the group's hiatus, with some of its 7 members approaching military service age, also triggered speculation about the future of a band whose upbeat hits and messages of youth empowerment have turned them into global stars.
I feel sorry as I didn't think that the members had a hard time and I only wanted more from BTS as part of the army. So I hope they can take some rest now. I will always support them even if they do solo activities.
울면서 이야기를 하는 그 멘트들이 보면서
I could relate to them and cry with them as they shed tears and told us how they felt. So I was grateful for that on the other hand. I wanted to support them more and be a big help for them.
더 든든한 힘이 되어주고 싶다 이런 생각이 들었습니다.
I felt a little lonely when I heard about the hiatus, but they said they will come back, so I will believe that. Also, there are many songs they have released until now, so I hope to carry on listening to those songs.
South Korean cultural critic Jung Duk-hyun said the K-pop industry had long been running on a profit-making system where stars were unable to take a rest even when burnt out. The unexpected announcement also fueled anger among investors in HYBE, which went public 2 years ago and whose shares plunged 25% on Wednesday, wiping nearly 2 trillion won or $1.55 billion of its market value. BTS made its debut in June 2013 and became a worldwide sensation with its upbeat hits and social campaigns aimed at empowering young people. The group had just released a new album on June 10th and met US President Joe Biden at the White House in May to discuss the hate crimes targeting Asians. Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, check our website eacnews.asia or search EAC News on Telegram, Smart TV, or at your favorite app store. More from EAC News team tomorrow night at 8 p.m. See you then.